The worst feeling in Rocket League isn't losing a game, but it's realizing that everyone else is getting better except you. You queue ranked, you grind for hours, and maybe even watch improvement videos like this one, but months go by and you're still in the same place. And that's why today I'm going to be breaking down why 99% of Rocket League players never actually improve, and how you can make sure that you're not one of them. Let's get into it. The first reason why 99% of Rocket League players never actually improve is because they play a lot, but they never actually practice with intention. Most players think improvement really just comes down to one thing, which is playing the game more, which is true if you're a complete beginner. But if you're above gold, this isn't going to work anymore. You need to stop just queuing ranked over and over again, hoping that it'll just randomly start working. Pros, who are the best players in the world, who are the best at improving at this game, they don't even improve by mindlessly playing. Instead, they improve by deciding actively what they're going to work on every week, every month, and they do this before they've even loaded up the game. Because if you queue without any focus, your brain will just default to whatever your autopilot is. You'll make the same mistakes, the same rotations, the same overcommits, whatever it might be. Intention turns your games into practice, and without it, you're just reinforcing bad habits. Second reason why 99% of people never improve is because they blame everything except themselves. Teammates, lag, bad kickoffs, smurfs, whatever it might be. Everyone else is always the problem. But here's the truth that nobody likes to hear. If you lose a game, there was something that you could have done better. Because the best players in the game don't ask, why is my teammate boosted? Why is he trolling? Why am I unlucky? Why did this happen? Instead, they always ask themselves this one question, which is, what can I do better next time? And that's all. Because the moment you take full responsibility for every loss, you already separate yourself from 99% of players. Maybe even 99.5 or 99.9 even. Because improvement starts the second you stop making excuses. Third, they play on autopilot. This one kills more progress than almost anything else. Players often just load into games, mentally completely checked out, with no awareness, no adaptation, and no reflection, and they just play on autopilot. What the pros do is that they constantly ask themselves, why did this goal happen? Why did that challenge fail? What could I do differently next time, again like the last tip? They're always thinking about what is happening in the game actively, not just what they're doing wrong, but also what is happening in the lobby. For example, they'll make a notice that, oh, this guy on the opposing team is always last man committing. So next time I see him as last man and he's looking to challenge me, I'm gonna get it over him and it'll be a free goal. Stuff like this are mistakes that people who are playing on autopilot never actually capitalize on. So you have to be always actively thinking in order for your rank to not stagnate. Fourth, they care too much about their rank. Simple as that. Because when you obsess over your rank, it'll freeze all of your improvement. When every game feels like it has to be a win, you're gonna stop experimenting. You're gonna stop taking these smart risks, and you're gonna play scared. But the best improvers always treat ranked like a testing ground, not a verdict of their overall skill. Because ranked is not the goal. It's just a PNG on your screen. It doesn't actually mean anything. But instead, you need to grow into the player who deserves whatever that rank is that you want to get to. So if you're plat, don't think about getting into diamond. Don't think about, yes, I must hit diamond. I must hit diamond. Think, I must become the player who is worthy of the rank diamond. And once you do that, it'll just be a matter of time. Fifth is that they train randomly with no direction, or they don't train at all. Because most players' training just looks like this. They go into free play and they just chase the ball and do some random stuff, and then they go straight into ranked, and then they play. But there's no structure, there's no focus, there's no consistency. Meanwhile, players who actually improve always do the opposite. They pick one skill. They structure their training in a way that they find enjoyable. And they train whatever that skill is consistently, every single day. And they actually apply it in their ranked games rather than autopiloting like we talked about before. And the final thing is that they never review themselves. Most players actually have no idea why they even lose games. Going back to the earlier point, they always just blame their teammates, luck, matchmaking, whatever it is, anything but themselves. But pros improve so much faster because they review themselves. They catch patterns, they spot bad habits, and they fix these mistakes once instead of having to repeat them hundreds of games in a row. Now, you don't need super long replay sessions. You don't need to do an hour of VOD review a day. Obviously, it's not necessary. But even if you just watch one of your ranked games every single day, or one time in a week you watch them, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to be a lot, okay? I promise you. If you watch one full replay where you lost, and it was a little bit of a close game maybe, I promise you, if you actively watch that game and you try to pick out what you did wrong, you will improve. So this is why 99% of Rocket League players never improve. So if you do the opposite of all of these things, I promise you, you have the potential to be able to become a top 1% Rocket League player. Good luck in your games, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.